Davidic times, and from King David to the exile, and from the exile to the Messiah. 14 generations each time. And who were these people? Tongue twister names that we read. They were Jews, they were Gentiles, they were adulterers, murderers, thieves, idolaters, commercial sex workers, what we call prostitutes, people who deceived. And if God could come through this lineage of human frailty, we have hope. How many of us would think, what I have done is so bad, I have no room for redemption? How many of us may think of someone else like that, I cannot forgive? How many of us have found our own human frailty and wanting to give up? And Jesus here stands in that lineage like a strong pole, and we who are tottering around, falling around, he holds the bar straight. Gives us hope. And that's what we have, that Emmanuel, God is with us, glorifying God. Even through our human frailty, even through our human weakness. Powerful God coming in weakness. The foolishness of weakness is the glory of God. The foolishness of that weakness is God's glory. I have met, and I suppose the fathers here around the altar would have also met, as well as I guess some of you. Someone come to me sometime and said, Father, God is unjust. Whatever prayers I've done is of no use. What do you say? God is with us. What is this Emmanuel? It has no meaning. It is good to preach about, but it is not true in my life. When I've just lost my job, my husband is crippling, my children are not looking after me, what do? I have all that and more. Many people. Prophet Job, he had plenty, prospering. His barns were full, his children were marrying, he had it all. And suddenly, one by one, all is taken away. And yet, in those times, he never failed God because he knew God was with him. Emmanuel was there. God has given, God has taken away. God will look after me. We take the case of our Blessed Mother. She was told, You are full of grace, highly favored. All generations will call you blessed. From among the last 2000 years, you are the chosen one. And what does she get? Along with it, a sword shall pierce your heart. no room to stay in. She looks upon her son whom they have crucified. Is God unjust? Has God not been with her? In the foolishness of the manger, in the folly of the manger, is the wisdom of God, the glory of God. We make our preparations for our weddings. We make preparations for several things. For example, for this Holy Eucharist, we have very detailed preparations for a wedding, the catering, the hall, the liturgy, and what have you. And here for 2000 years, we have been being prepared. And what do we get? A babe in a trough, in a feeding trough. What do we have? A great king, a big palace. That's what was expected at that time. A political Messiah who will overthrow the Romans and overthrow their political oppressors. Not one who would come to forgive us our sins. Not one who would come to say your life carries on even after you have finished your innings here on earth. That is the conqueror. This is someone who stays with us now, then, and thereafter, and year after. Father Jarvis was kind enough to mention that both of us did our studies in social work together. And some time ago, while we were doing that in the late 80s, I had the opportunity with a couple of my companions to take the street children to see a film shooting in Goregaon. So we were students, we were not providing them with anything, just taking them to see. They love to see the action happening, the camera, the lights, the ones in front and behind those cameras. And as we were walking together, I had my hands on two of them, little 12, 13, 14-year-old boys walking along with me on that bridge, the railway bridge. As we were walking, one of the boys at the side of me put his hands in his pocket and gave all his money to a beggar at the side. It shocked me because I knew that we were not going to give them any snacks or food. Neither did he have anything with him. So I asked him, "Do you have any money with you for this evening or this afternoon?" He said, "No." "How are you going to eat this evening?" Those days we had children living totally on the streets, not like how it has changed today. And he just shrugged his shoulders. I patted him on his back, maybe seeing me doing that with this boy, another boy on the other side, while we were going down the steps, put his hand in his pockets and gave a blind beggar with, with physical disabilities all the money he had. And I asked him the same question, "Do you have anything with you?" He said, "No, sir. But look, बेचारा, हमें तो काबिलियत है. I am capable. We have capabilities. We are able-bodied. But poor chap, what can he do? In my own poverty, I can still recognize someone else's need greater than mine, even when I do not have enough for myself. That is one of the greatest lessons that I've learned for life from those two street boys. We may have our assets, our entities, and all these is important. We need to be secure. We need to look after our progen too. Do we have a little corner for Jesus in my bank account, my assets? Am I missing an opportunity to help someone's education, to if not to give, at least to be kind and smile and give a warm hug and embrace or a visit? In all the needs, all the drudgeries, all the human frailties I have, can I still, like these two little boys, see the need in the other person? Am I reflecting the mirror on myself or seeing the world through the mirror as a happy place? As I walk down the streets, I look at all the tinsels and look at all the goodies out there. And am I always considering, desiring what can I get for my loved one or for myself? I wonder if what our Blessed Mother did with those gifts, Joseph and Mother Mary. Those three gifts they got from the kings: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Did they save it? Did they take it and sell it to buy some better tools for Joseph the carpenter? Or a better house? Or did she save it to bribe the guards so that they could not beat him? To bribe the priests there so that they would release him through the back door? No. She did not have that plan of saving. She left it up to him. The folly, the foolishness of leaving things to him is the wisdom and glory of God. The sheer foolishness in seeing I leave everything in God's hands. In that folly is the glory and wisdom of God. The shepherds who heard the good news, saw the angels, came to see baby Jesus in the manger. What would have happened after that night? Did they go back and just go about their business? God made an entry, an announcement to those shepherds, the lowliest of society in the economic strata. Arid land in Israel, no grass, no pastures, and constantly searching for pastures, for green pastures. They were always left out. And his entry is not a grand, gigantic entry. The foolishness of 2000 years of preparation. Apparent. The folly of not making a grand entry in a palatial place, in a big show of him coming down bush on earth. Wisdom and glory of God. Prophet Elijah, we hear in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 11. He was told that he will get a message from God, go to the cave. And when God is ready, you come ready at the mouth of the cave. And there he hears a whoosh and zoom of wind gust blowing. And surely God is in this wind, and he comes out there at the mouth of the cave. But God was not there in that strong wind. In front of him, he saw the mountains caving in, an earthquake, but God wasn't there. There was a big fire, God wasn't there. Where was God? In a light window, in a little sound of a baby. And he covered his face and he got his message. The innkeepers, the one who saw Mother Mary's plight and felt bad for her and said, okay, I do not have a place, but come, let's put you in our manger, in our tabela, in our cowshed, in our cattle shed. What God, was God fooling Mother Mary and Joseph in that dream or in the appearance of the angel? He gave them a mission. My son is coming through you, Mary. But did he work out the details? Can I complain when I don't have the details all under my control? And could she still say God was not with me? Emmanuel, the glory of God. In giving us a mission, we working out the details, so we are both together in prayer, and that is what is prayer, where we both meet together. God works through our human frailties, in our ordinariness. Mary, Joseph, ordinary common people. And so if I am also ordinary, I am made full of grace. God works His glory through me. And therefore I need to carry Jesus with me. I'd like to ask you a question. When you go back tonight, are you carrying Jesus with you? This parish, in a place not St. Andrews, but this particular parish had a beautiful crib made, and this little boy Davis suddenly saw baby Jesus was not in the crib. And he went and told his parents. His parents, when came to see it, went running to the pastor. Father, did you take Jesus out from the crib? He came running to see, and no, he had not taken it out. The pastor was very upset. Who has done this careless act? He called his people and announced that he wants baby Jesus back in the crib. Do all you can. He ordered all of them. And that evening, as the pastor was walking down the street, he found little Timmy dragging his little red wagon with a string attached and a bright new red wagon. And he knew immediately that Timmy's parents would have scrounged and scrimped to put their money together to buy him that. And so he went to congratulate him. When he saw in that red wagon a pillow and baby Jesus of the crib on that pillow, he was indignant, very upset. Timmy, do you know what's the meaning of this? Do you understand you should not steal? How upset everyone in the parish is with you? And Timmy was wiping his tears, saying, it is not like that, Pastor. You see, I wanted a red wagon all the time and I was asking baby Jesus. And I promised him that if I get a red wagon for Christmas, he will be the first one that I will put for a ride and I'll take him for a ride. And now I'm taking him home. I'm taking baby Jesus back to his home in the grave. Are you taking baby Jesus back to your home in your heart? Your red heart, the red wagon, is where Jesus is coming to work through all our frailties, all our unworthiness, all our brokenness, all our unpleasantness, to make it joyous, to make it happy, to make it peaceful. Let Him in. My dear friends, are you letting Him in? Are you letting Him glorify you with Him? Are you letting Him in? Are you taking Jesus with you home this evening? God bless you. Can we stand to the profession of faith?